Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great day. If you're anything like our family, you've probably been getting outside with all this beautiful weather and getting on walks. And I wanted to share with you, a couple days ago, I went on a walk with my kids. And one kid in particular was really acting out of character and being really difficult. And I pulled that child kind of aside and we walked a little farther back from everybody for a few minutes and trying to just find out what was at the root of this acting out. And this child ended up, after a couple minutes of talking, just bursting into tears and saying how just disappointed and sad they were about not being with their friends and not being in school. And it just made me really slow down and realize that there's a lot of emotions for us to process during this time. We are in unprecedented times. We're separated, we're isolated. There's so many unknowns. And it reminded me how important it is for us to feel our feelings. I know that sounds a little weird and it sounds a little juvenile, but it's true. And Jesus, I think about Jesus in his life and in the Gospels, and he didn't shy away from feelings. I think sometimes we tend to think that feelings are bad, but it's really important for us to process these things. I think about when Jesus went to visit Mary and Martha after Lazarus had died in John, and it talks about how not only did he weep for his friend, but it says this, he was angry and he was deeply troubled. So even Jesus felt his feelings. So I just want to give you permission today to feel some feelings. Ecclesiastes in chapter 3 says there's a time for everything. There's a season for everything under the sun. And then in verse 4, it says there's a time to weep and a time to laugh. And right after that, it says there's a time to mourn and a time to dance. So there's a proper time to grieve and to weep and to mourn some of the things that we are losing out on and missing out on right now. But there's also, it says there's a season and a time for everything, which means we don't stay there. It's okay to feel those feelings. It's okay to mourn these things, but we have hope as Christians, right? We have peace in Jesus. And so we can feel those feelings, but we shouldn't stay there forever, right? Because there's a season for everything. So I want to give you permission today to feel those feelings. Have your time of mourning or grieving if you need to. Go have a cry if you need to. But don't forget that that season shouldn't last forever. And once you're done, make sure that you're leaning into God. His word tells us in Philippians that we should dwell on those things that are true, honorable, just, pure, lovely, commendable, excellent, praiseworthy. He says when we think on these things, the peace of God will be with us. So I hope you're encouraged today. Feel those feelings if you need to, but have a great day.